My name is Kira, and 24 hours ago, my parents told me I was dead to them. I'm a social worker. I make $42,000 a year helping foster kids find stable homes. My mother thinks I'm a failure. You're embarrassing this family, Mom said, slamming her wine glass on the dining table. Your sister is a pharmaceutical rep making 6 figures, and you're wiping noses for poverty wages. I took a deep breath. I'm helping children, Mom. You're throwing your life away. Dad pointed his fork at me. We gave you every opportunity, a position waiting for you at the company. I didn't want to sell medical equipment, Dad. My sister Madison laughed, this cruel sound that made my stomach turn. Of course you didn't. You wanted to be a saint. How's that working out for you? I'm happy with my choices. Happy? Madison leaned back, smirking. You drive a 10-year-old Honda. You live in a studio apartment in the worst part of town. Madison, that's enough, I said quietly. No, it's not enough. Mom's face was red now. You spend every weekend with that old woman instead of networking, building a career. Grandma Helen needs someone. She's 92 and alone. Dad scoffed. She's alone because she's impossible. Bitter, demanding, living in the past. She's your mother, I said to him. She's a burden, he shot back. And you're wasting your prime years playing nurse to someone who'll be gone soon anyway. I stood up, my hands shaking. I can't believe you just said that. Sit down, Kira. Mom's voice was ice. I think we're finished. If you walk out that door, Dad said slowly, don't bother coming back. You're choosing that old woman over your own family. Madison twirled her wine glass. Honestly, Kira, it's kind of sad. You're 31. No career, no money, no prospects. The kind of man I want values compassion over a bank account, I replied. Mom stood up. This is your last chance. Quit that ridiculous job and start working at your father's company. Otherwise, you're not our daughter anymore. Then I guess I'm not your daughter. I grabbed my purse and headed for the door. Don't you dare walk away from us, Dad shouted. I turned back. You're the ones walking away. From me, from Grandma, from basic human decency. Have fun being poor, Madison called out. I left their mansion and drove to my tiny apartment, tears streaming down my face. My phone buzzed with a text from Madison. Hope you enjoy your poverty. I blocked her number and called the one person who actually cared about me. Ashley, can you come over? Already on my way, my best friend said. What did they do this time? They disowned me. The next morning I was at work when my phone rang. Unknown number. Is this Kira Peterson? A woman's voice asked. Yes, who's this? This is Jennifer Collins, your grandmother's attorney. I'm very sorry to inform you that Helen Peterson passed away peacefully in her sleep last night. The world stopped. What? Your grandmother left specific instructions for me to contact you first. Can you come to my office today at 2? I barely remembered agreeing. Ashley found me crying in the supply closet an hour later. Kira, what happened? Grandma Helen died. I couldn't breathe. She's gone. Ashley held me. I'm so sorry. She was the only family member who loved me for who I am, I sobbed. At 2 o'clock, I sat in Attorney Collins's sleek downtown office. She was a sharp woman in her 50s with kind eyes. Kira, your grandmother spoke about you often, she began. She told me you were the only one who visited her for the right reasons. I loved her. She loved you too. Attorney Collins pulled out a folder. 3 months ago, she came to me and rewrote her entire will. My stomach dropped. My parents are going to contest whatever she left me, aren't they? Let them try, Attorney Collins smiled. Your grandmother documented everything. Every visit from family members asking for money. Every phone call from your sister demanding designer handbags. She recorded them? For the past 2 years, she also documented your visits. Every Sunday for 4 years like clockwork. You never asked her for a dime. I wiped my eyes. I just wanted to spend time with her. I know, so did she. Attorney Collins slid papers across the desk. Kira, your grandmother's estate is valued at approximately $8.2 million. $8 million? I whispered. She left it all to you, every penny. I couldn't process it. What about my parents? They get nothing. Your grandmother was explicit. She wrote, "To my son Richard and his wife Rebecca, I leave my disappointment. To my granddaughter Madison, I leave my pity. To my granddaughter Kira, who loved me without conditions, I leave everything." Oh my God. The will reading is tomorrow at 10. Your family will be there. Attorney Collins leaned forward. They're going to be furious. I can handle it. Can you? Because they're going to try everything. I thought about last night's dinner, their cruelty, my father's ultimatum. I can handle it, I repeated, stronger this time. The conference room felt like a battlefield. Mom, Dad, and Madison sat on one side of the table. I sat alone on the other, Ashley beside me for support. Why is she here? Madison glared at me. Kira is named in the will, Attorney Collins said calmly. Dad's face was red. Of course she is. Mother always had a soft spot for the family charity case. Attorney Collins opened the will. This is the last will and testament of Helen Margaret Peterson, executed on October 15th of this year. October? Dad interrupted. Why weren't we informed? She was of sound mind and had every right to do so privately, Attorney Collins replied. Mom reached across the table toward me. Kira, sweetie, about last night. Don't, I said quietly. We were hasty, Dad tried. We overreacted. Madison was silent, staring at the will. Attorney Collins read, To my son Richard and his wife Rebecca, I leave my disappointment. To my granddaughter Madison, I leave my pity. They visited me when they wanted money, called when they needed favors, and forgot me when I had nothing to offer. What? Mom's voice cracked. This is absurd, Dad stood up. My mother was senile. She was evaluated by 2 independent physicians, Attorney Collins said coldly. She was completely lucid. Keep reading, I said. To my granddaughter Kira, who loved me without conditions, I leave everything. My house, my investments, my savings, my jewelry, and all remaining assets, totaling approximately $8.2 million. The silence was deafening. Then Madison exploded. What? $8 million to her? This is outrageous, Dad pounded the table. We're her family. Kira is family too, Attorney Collins said mildly. Mom's mask slipped. How dare she manipulate a dying woman? I never asked Grandma for anything, I said. You brainwashed her, Madison screamed. You did that yourselves, I replied. Every time you visited her, just to ask for money. We're contesting this, Dad announced. Attorney Collins smiled. I anticipated that. Helen prepared for it too. She pulled out a laptop and pressed play. Grandma Helen's voice filled the room. Richard, if you're watching this, you're trying to steal from the one person who truly loved me. Dad went pale. The video showed Grandma in her living room. I'm making this recording to establish that I am of sound mind. Today is October 15th, and I am changing my will to leave everything to Kira. This doesn't prove anything, Madison muttered. There's more, Attorney Collins said. I have documentation of every visit my family made to me over the past 2 years. Richard, you came 11 times. 9 of those times, you asked for money within 15 minutes. Dad's jaw clenched. Rebecca, you visited 8 times, mostly criticizing my house and my choices. Madison, you came 6 times, always needing money for something. Madison looked sick. Kira visited me every single Sunday for 4 years. 104 visits. She never asked for money. She brought groceries, cooked dinner, and made me feel human again. I felt tears streaming down my face. Attorney Collins paused the video. Would you like to see the spreadsheet Mrs. Peterson kept? She logged every visit, every phone call, every request for money. We don't need to see it, Mom said quickly. I think we do. I looked at Attorney Collins. Show them. She pulled up a detailed Excel sheet. October 3rd. Richard called, asked for $50,000. September 12th. Madison visited, demanded $15,000 for European vacation. August 8th. Rebecca complained about Kira wasting her life. You kept track of everything? Dad whispered. She was meticulous, Attorney Collins said. She also recorded several conversations. Would you like to hear yourself telling her that her house was wasted on an old woman who'd die soon anyway? Dad collapsed into his chair. This is still contestable, Madison insisted. We have rights. Actually, you don't. Attorney Collins pulled out more papers. Mrs. Peterson included a no contest clause. If you challenge this will, you forfeit the one thing she did leave you. What's that? Mom asked desperately. Her forgiveness. She wrote each of you a letter. If you accept the will without contest, you get to read them. If you fight this, those letters will be destroyed. Letters? Mom's voice broke. Personal letters explaining her choices, Attorney Collins confirmed. You'll never know what she wanted to say if you contest. The room fell silent. Then Mom turned to me. Kira, please, we're family. You can't do this. You disowned me last night, I said quietly. You told me I was dead to you. We didn't mean it, Dad pleaded. You meant every word. I stood up. You meant it when Madison called me pathetic, when you gave me an ultimatum. Madison's voice was small. Kira, I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're sorry you're not getting $8 million. That's not fair, she protested. What's not fair is treating people like assets, I shot back. Grandma was a human being who deserved love, not a bank account. What are you going to do with all that money? Mom demanded. I'll figure it out, without your help. Ashley squeezed my hand. Kira, please, Dad tried again. We can work this out. You're right. Family is family. I looked at each of them. Grandma was my family. She taught me that love isn't transactional. So you're just going to keep everything? Madison's voice rose. While we get nothing? You get exactly what you gave Grandma, I replied. Nothing. Attorney Collins cleared her throat. Do you accept the terms? No contest and you receive your letters? The silence stretched. Finally, Dad nodded. We accept. Smart choice, Attorney Collins said. She handed them 3 sealed envelopes. Mom clutched her letter like a lifeline. Can we read them now? You can read them anywhere but here. This meeting is adjourned. They filed out, broken and silent. Madison tried to catch my eye at the door, but I looked away. When they were gone, Ashley hugged me tight. You did it. I didn't do anything. Grandma did. Attorney Collins smiled. She'd be very proud of you, Kira. What happens now? I asked. Now you inherit an $8 million estate and live your life on your own terms. I'm not quitting my job, I said. Those foster kids need me. But maybe I'll start a foundation in Grandma's name. That's perfect, Ashley said. I thought about my parents' panic calls that morning, the voicemails begging me to be reasonable. They didn't care about me. They cared about the money. Justice isn't always about revenge. Sometimes it's about letting people face the natural consequences of their choices. My parents chose greed over compassion. Grandma chose me. Have you ever been disowned by family members who only wanted you back when they needed something? Sometimes the best revenge is living well and letting karma handle the rest. Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.